Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the two games that had me convinced that Vitality were going to win both the bracket reset and the second series against BDS to win the entire major in Boston. So this is the first series, and the studious among you will know that this is game 3 because we're on DFH Stadium. Series tied at 1 game each, and when I was watching this, it seemed like it was on a knife edge, and the bracket reset and victory for Vitality seemed so far away. To win against any top team in the world these days 2 times in a row is incredibly difficult, especially at the end of the double elimination format where Vitality have already played a grueling series with multiple overtimes, including the longest LAN overtime in RLCS ever against Rule 1, and then a 7-game thriller against Karmine Corp before this. So it's safe to say BDS were the favorites at this point. But this game, for me at least, convinced me when I was watching it live that we were at least going to see a bracket reset. After that, who knows? Because some teams after a bracket reset just run out of steam. We've seen it in the past online a lot. That, you know, momentum, yeah, that can be very helpful. But my goodness, well, a double save by Monkeyman there, by the way. Zed probably thought that that was a goal when he let loose, but Monkeyman somehow kept it out. Safe to say as well, we're going to be on Zen POV for both these games. I think that this game, for me, really just showed that Zen was going to, like everybody kept asking, you know, will Zen be able to do it in threes? Will he be able to do it in RLCS? Will he be able to do it on LAN? Will he be able to do it on a grand final on LAN? Well, this was the game that really, I think, cemented it for me that, yes, Zen will be able to do it in a grand final on LAN. I really did believe that he would, but, you know, you've got to see it to truly know. And yeah, when I saw this game, I thought, yeah, this is 100% a bracket reset. They're doing this. So Zen's outplays in this game are really what caught my attention. You know, it's not always about getting the ball into the opponent's net, especially for Vitality. A lot of what they do is denying the opponents any kind of opportunity to do something. So just notice for how long in this game BDS can't really do too much. Yes, they're making saves here and there, but Vitality are not stretching themselves thin at all. Zen did miss a side boost there. Good to know that that still happens, even if you're Zen. And I mean, that's a double commit as well by Alpha and Redosin. And you know, Zen's boost management's maybe been a little bit more trigger happy than it usually is, but they're getting so many clean touches on the ball. They're getting so many attempts to outplay their opponents. Redosin there alone at the back briefly. Did BDS really have a look at the goal? No, he just gets himself goal side and deflects it into the back corner. It's all about safe play for Vitality, but that does not mean that their opponents are having a good time playing against them. It feels like you're being starved when you play against a Vitality in this kind of form. When Redosin, who had a bit of a, you know, up and down LAN, in my opinion, I think the opinions of most, he had a bit of an inconsistent LAN. He really showed up in the grand final. He started to be more of the Redosin that we know from online, and Alpha 54 as well, just showing that, you know, he is one of the most talented players to ever play the game, still at the very top of the game after all this time. But how about that 1-0? I mean, that was, I think, the exclamation mark to all the pressure, all the territory, all the shots that Vitality created. They're up 9 shots to 1 at this point, and you're going to see that kickoff a lot, by the way. The kickoff for Vitality are winning it slightly to the right. We saw Falcons do it quite a lot in the Winter Major. It looks like that was a bit of a mistake there by Redosin and Seiko, who both, it's not Seiko, sorry, Zen, who both wanted to take the second challenge on that play. One of them's got to close the gap there against Seiko. They didn't, and they immediately concede off the back of it. But yeah, Vitality not playing perfectly here. They're just playing better than everybody else. Zen here threatening a floor double. Alpha faking the redirect, and you can tell it's a fake because Zen is up so early for that. Alpha calling in comms that he's just going to fake the redirect there, knowing that Zen's got a completely uncontested shot. If he does, that is exactly what happens. So yeah, BDS again just getting completely, I think, out-efficiency'd, for lack of a better word. Vitality are just making the most of every touch that they get, even making the most of touches they don't get, whereas BDS are really having to scrape anything that they can out of this midfield back and forth. You know, we saw Redosin with a safe play earlier on. Zen as well, whenever he's last man, just looks so comfortable. Vitality able to survive whenever their opponents put them under a little bit of pressure. Maybe not every time, but it's definitely enough in this grand final, and this being game 3 on a tie games series. First of potentially 2. Very important that you start strong. You do not want to go into another grueling back and forth. So Zen definitely missing his double tap off the ceiling there, wanted to go into a more threatening position. His pre-jump save doesn't connect, but Seiko hits the post, and Radosin and Zen are both there to cover the follow-up shot as well. But that was a really good chance for Vitality. Seiko, at the start of this grand final, was, for me, the best player on BDS. He started to look really efficient. But that's a bit of a mistake by him at the other end. Alpha with an easy interception off the ceiling. Wide open net as Monkeyman and Rise push up into aggressive positions, down by 1 in the final seconds. Vitality get another goal. Yeah, this first game and this first series for me was all about, will Vitality be able to consistently cause problems for BDS? Because BDS were the team in the upper bracket. They were dominating this event. They only dropped 1 game to Vitality. They didn't drop any games against Rule 1. They only dropped 1 game against Gen G. So up until this point, they had been crushing everyone except Karmi Corp in the last day, who nearly came back from behind to beat them, but they lost 4-3 as well. So yeah, to do this to BDS, to finally out-pressure them and look like they are just simply the better team. We hadn't seen this yet in the tournament, and this, I think, was a very dominant game for Vitality, really just showing that they've brought their online form into the LAN. And into the LAN Grand Final. What a stat line that is for Zen as well. 3 goals, 4 saves, 790 points in regulation. Not bad. So when I saw this, like I said, I was pretty convinced we're getting a bracket reset. I fully believed. But let's get into the second series, and I'll show you the game that convinced me that Vitality were going to win the whole thing. Okay, we're all the way in Game 4 of the second series. This time Vitality are up to 1 in games. We're back on Zen's POV, respawning, and let's see, a bit of a different style of game. If that game was all about the offense for Vitality, the reason that I was convinced that Vitality were going to win this game and this series is all about the defense. Starting off early with a massive interception by Zen. Bit of a loose pass there by Monkey Moon. Zen all over it, and has Radosin lurking downfield for the easy finish, 1-0. And like I said earlier, Vitality were looking for that particular kickoff goal quite a lot in this series, the one where they win it slightly right, and they have their cheating player going slightly right as well, but it's not a completely sideways kickoff. They're trying to win it a little bit to the right. I'm very interested to see, all these different types of kickoff strategies that were popping up at the LAN. We had Power with a bunch of half-flip kickoffs. We had Vitality with lots of different types of kickoff goal-generating plays. And we had Gen G as well with some pretty smart kickoffs, I think. Seiko caught unawares there by Zen, who's now just going to dance his way back into the rotation. Now, I think, again, just like I said in the last game, Zen, not the best boost management at times. If there's one thing in these games that you can consistently say he's struggling with, it would be boost management, but definitely not the goal line reads. That is an otherworldly, to use the word that kept popping up in breaks, thanks to Shogun at this event. Otherworldly save there by Zen. Didn't have a lot of boost because he ran out and didn't path over small pads enough, but he still had the save. No problem. Now, flip reset into the bar there. Rise did well to cover most of the goal, even under pressure from Alpha 54, but Zen still threatening. Flip reset. That was a great first touch to set that one up, really. Okay, that's the first moment there for Zen that really, for me, showed, okay, they are in this game to win it. We've had the goal earlier on, Zen to Radosin, now another goal, Zen to Alpha, and then the save as well from Zen. All Zen just outplaying opponents with interceptions, hitting the ball into positions BDS can't really deal with. And that's really what Zen's all about. It's not always about rushing the issue. It's not about getting a goal as fast as possible. It's not about forcing the opponents to crumble. Check this out. 1v3 defensive play. Jumps over Seiko. 50s it perfectly to neutralize Monkey Moon and keep control of the ball. There was nowhere Rise could go. BDS sending absolutely everyone there. Seiko in front of the ball. Monkey Moon with it. Rise behind. And Zen stops everything himself. That was actually the moment. That was it right there. That was when I knew Vitality were winning the whole LAN. I mean, how do you come back from this? We've already had a world-class in-and-out save, which was shot brilliantly as well, by the way. It wasn't like a bad shot by any means. Rise placed it low and into the corner. Zen still saved it. I mean, that's usually the hardest position to save a shot with an in-and-out save, is low and into the corner. But Zen just on a different level with his reads in this game defensively. BDS getting absolutely nothing. And it must be frustrating when you're at the end of a tournament that's up until this very series, up until the match against Vitality, gone so well for you, and now nothing is working. Every time you try and attack, BDS or Zen and Vitality are stopping it. Every time you try and defend, they're just finding another touch. They're finding another way through that you weren't expecting. And that's really what makes Vitality so dangerous. And I think what's really, at the end of the day, made them so consistent and led to the perfect split it's because they don't force the issue. They don't overextend. They're always able to stall long enough. Now that was another decent attempt on net there. Rise again looking to shoot low bottom corner against the in-and-out save attempt from Zen. That one at the post. BDS being pushed to the absolute limit here to try and hunt down a goal. And here comes Monkey Moon. Again denied by Zen, who's just going to kill it into the middle. But the follow-up is there for BDS. Alpha has to keep it in the back corner. Zen has to shut down Rise's follow-up shot as well. Just one after another. Recoveries for Vitality. Crucial to their gameplay. When they're not all backing each other up quickly, you can see that it all goes wrong. But look at this from Alpha as well. Ceiling recovery off a challenge. And then the ceiling shot past the last man jumping. 3-0. And, you know, I talked a lot about Zen in this video, but what a play, what a series this was, this second series by Alpha 54. You know, if Zen was the defensive rock for the team, Alpha was the player that completely tore apart Vitality with his offense. And especially in the very last game of the series, when everybody's starting to look a little bit nervous, Alpha held it all together. The experienced player for Vitality, using every ounce that he's got to get them across the line. Like he said in the post-match interview, post-event interview, he knew at that point that it was over. He knew they'd already won. I think it was Subi asked him, how did you stay so calm? It's because he was just telling the team, we've won, we're going to win. Don't panic, don't put any pressure on yourself. We're going to win this. I think he, like many of us, could tell just by looking at this game, yeah, this is just going to be Vitality's, isn't it? Such efficient play, such constant play as well. Out-pressuring BDS in the midfield. Actually being outshot here, I think the flurries from BDS led to many chances on net. Actually nearly putting together another in-and-out save there. Zen actually conceding one here as I think deflected off one of his teammates. Anything but a bad kickoff and they're good. That will just about do it. Seiko's miss confirms the Game 4 win for Vitality. They had triple match point, and of course they only needed one of them. Yeah, like I said, these were the two games that really, for me, confirmed that Vitality were going to win the first and second series. It was just how unplayable Zen was and how unplayable Vitality were in offense in the first series, and how unplayable Zen's defense was in this game. That really, I think, just made me so confident sitting there in the stand watching this grand final unfold. Yeah, there was no doubt in my mind. Vitality are here to win. They're going to win. And they're going to get the perfect split. But BDS, wow, what a tournament they've had. What a turnaround to their season from a disappointing 6th, 7th, 8th kind of range in Europe to now second in the world for the entire spring split. Second place in Europe to Vitality, second place in the world at the major. I mean, second place Europe, second place in the world, kind of the same thing these days. You could say, but we'll wait and see if that continues to be the case at the World Championship. I think BDS are going to be one of the teams with the best chance to take down Vitality. They were the only team to take down Vitality at the Spring Major, so they clearly know how to do it. The Karmi Corp have beaten Vitality online. Complexity nearly beat them, so they're not unbeatable. They don't even think themselves to be unbeatable, but yeah, if every team shows up and I think plays to their potential, Vitality look to be the best of the bunch. Yeah, if you like this kind of video, just kind of highlighting individual games from international LANs, and do let me know. We've got another one coming up. World's just around the corner. I'm gonna try and get accurate predictions like I did for this one. Maybe I'll try and bless two teams. I guess you could let me know in the comments down below as well. Which teams would you like me to bless by making videos about them right before the LAN? Not that Vitality needed any help, but yeah, the two pre-LAN videos, like I said in my last video, were about Rawas and Zen, and my first post-LAN videos are also about Rawas and Zen. It seems to I don't know, it seems scripted. It seems to make sense. So yeah, let me know who you'd like to see pre-LAN videos about. List your favorite teams down below, and I'll see what I can do. I'll see if we can work any magic. Congrats again to Vitality on an incredible win. Perfect split. I don't think it's going to happen again for a long time. Unbelievable stuff. Said it in my last video, but I'll say it again. It's just such an incredible achievement. And Farah, the unsung hero here in this lobby, definitely had everyone singing his praises for his work on stage, in the interviews, and behind the scenes as well for Vitality with the whiteboard antics. Loving to see him sticking around in the scene and being a massive part of it as well, not just no small part in a Vitality organization who are back at their best. That's all we got time for today though, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you like this type of video, let me know in the comments down below. Show matches coming to the channel very, very soon, and in the run up to the major as well, so be on the lookout for those. I'll be trying to tweet out as many as I can. As I always say, if you want to know about show matches before they happen, my Twitter is the best place to find out what I'm going to be getting up to. And it's also the best place to see me farming impressions when Worlds rolls around as well. Love to farm some impressions when I'm away at international LANs, of course. But for now though, guys, appreciate you all stopping by as always. Have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And until next time, thanks for watching.